They said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce. Yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
Panel. My name is Josh. I'm here today with my good buddy Adam.
My good buddy cohort.
And today we're going to be talking about V for Vendetta number 2.
Deuce.
The Deuces. And it's going to be fun.
And just before that, we were just briefly talking about how Jonathan Hickman opted out of writing the entirety of the Krakoan age of the X-Men and fucked off, and now apparently is, as far as I know, he's creating the new Ultimate Universe for Marvel.
You think that'll be any good?
Well, I know one of them's good, Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, he did that one? Oh, all right.
It's Spider-Man with a family, he has kids.
Oh, that's the one? That's that one? Okay.
He has kids and a wife. He's married to Mary Jane.
Oh.
And he's still not fucking happy.
Wow.
He thinks there's something missing from his life because he's not Spider-Man. Well, not yet.
Oh, so that's what it's missing from his life.
What a bastard, dude. I fucking hate him. He has everything.
Bastard. Everything. But not the one thing that makes him fucking happy. Being a superhero idiot.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. Anyways. All right, before we get into that, though, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com, hear all our stuff. Follow us at Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. You can also go and listen to All Gas, No Trash, where we will be, it'll be released at the same time as this, so we will imminently be listening to Paris Hilton's new album, Infinite Icon, and oh my God, I can't wait. It's not like I'm excited because I enjoy Paris Hilton's music. It's I'm excited because finally the earwax will melt that's inside of my ears and come out.
Dude.
Yeah.
So, for this fucking issue.
Yeah.
I think this is the issue. Forgetting. Well, anyways, distracting me from the main point I was going to make. If you bought V for Vendetta in 1988, back in the old
back in the old times in 1888,
the old vaudevillian days.
If you read it in the local newspaper, the stories, if you will.
Yeah. You got your money's worth.
Oh yeah.
Because now comics are like half ads, and you get like 22 pages. So it's 36 pages, but 8 of them are like, 10 of them are ads or something. Yeah. So you get this book,
and it's dense.
It's fucking dense, dude, for one chapter. So I don't think we could put this off any longer. We got to get to the facts. I'm not even sure if that's a phallic symbol on the front. I don't even know if it's a dildo, but I'm not sure if this happens in this issue or the one after. But in any case,
I don't remember. But it does look like it's like a statue, I think. But it does kind of look like a dildo. That's pretty funny.
A real veiny, triumphant bastard.
It does look very veiny.
This is a very interesting first chapter for issue number. Wait, what number are we on? 2?
This is 2, chapter 5.
Fuck, man. So we get a little bit of an introduction of the leader, who is giving a little bit of lore that he's a fascist and he has. He
loves being a fascist.
Yeah, and Nordic race. He's like,
oh yeah,
it is the destiny of England to be
of the whites. That's basically what he says.
He's like, this was my responsibility. I did not ask for this. It was necessary for the English to prevail.
It's a good day for England. Death for the wild.
He's like, I have not had the touch of a woman.
Yeah, that's true. Literally an insult, a literal incel.
Yeah.
Man, maybe they're onto something with this shit. Because goddamn, dude, did V for Vendetta predict fucking everything, or is this again just history repeating itself?
England prevails.
England prevails.
England prevails. So he discloses that the fact that he is, in fact, a virgin, and the only woman that he covets is Fate, the robot.
Yeah, the fucking computer of life.
It is cold. It is calculated. It looks upon him with unworthiness, that he is a figure, or rather, the leader is a figure beneath Fate, the computer, and it's very strange how he talks about it. Like, it's very horny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he does talk about how he's like, I don't want to hear about freedom. I don't want to hear about liberty. Those are luxuries, and I do not believe in those things.
But then he makes like a point. He's like, oh, do I reserve for myself the freedom to deny others freedom? I do not. I sit here within my cage, and I am but a servant. I, who am master of all that I see desolation, I see ashes. I have so very much, I have so very little.
Man, that is some like weird fucking like
He's demented.
delusional communist talk right there.
He's demented.
Super demented.
And he covets this personification of fate. It's very weird and horny.
Yeah, it is. I cherish the purity of her disdain. She does not respect me. She does not fear me. She spits in my face. He's like one of those dudes that would love to get spit in his mouth by fucking, like, he pays whores to spit in his mouth. That's what he does.
Yeah.
They think she's hard and cold, those who don't know her. They think she's lifeless and without passion. They do not know her. She has not touched them. She touches me, though. And then also saying that he's touched by God and by destiny. Man, again, very similar to kind of what's happening right now. People talking about them being touched and spared by God and things like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Very strange.
And there's a part above where he talks about the strength, the unity through faith. So you make everybody white, you make everybody Christian. It makes everything a lot easier.
It's way easier.
If it's white, if it's all white, it's all right.
I mean, that's the phrase. I mean, that's what this guy's basically saying.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what they did.
They wiped out minorities?
Yep. Everybody who was a minority, anybody who was gay, anybody who was not Christian, anybody who was maybe white Christian and fell within the party lines but was like, hey guys, I don't know if we should be doing this. Got rid of them too.
He sounds like a communist.
He kind of does, yeah. So, and then he goes on to say, like, I wish to stay with you forever. I love you, Fate. Man.
It's like the blinding, like the weird angle of the light coming upwards on him. He's like squinting with his fucking eyes and shit. It's weird as fuck. And then,
it is.
As a counterpoint to this, there's this cool moment, albeit fucking crazy, as crazy as the leader.
It's super unhinged, but it's like basically showing that they are two sides to the same coin. The Batman and Joker scenario here is very prominent between the leader and V.
Yeah. Shit, there was something else I was supposed to bring up about. Oh, yeah, the leader's name I think is Adam Susan.
Yeah.
A feminine name.
Yeah,
but a
very
hard
strange.
man.
Very strange. Also named Adam, very strange. That's probably like your first red flag right there. Guy's name's Adam.
Yeah, it's not being a ginger because they all got
Hey,
wiped
fuck
out.
you, all right? What do you mean? I bet you gingers were the first ones they got rid of because we're the most rebellious. So they're like, oh yeah, they have weird colors, get rid of them.
Yeah. So we see V courting Madam Justice, and V gives this whole exposition. When I was a kid, oh man, how I looked at V with such warming eyes, and it wasn't that I wanted to covet you and have sex with you. It was just I revered and enjoyed your presence. But you, Justice, you whore, you slut, you bedded Adam Susan, the leader.
You two-timing bitch.
You two-timing bitch. And then he goes on this fucking rant. He's like, but I have coveted another, and her name is Anarchy.
Oh, yeah.
And she does not make any promises. And I forgot what other bullshit she says.
Wait a minute, what did he say? Where was it? Because he says...
Slut whore.
Liar, slut, whore, deny that. You let him have his way with you. Him with his armbands and jack boots. You bitch. And then he's just like, oh, cat got your tongue. Oh, and then that's what he says. He says down here. He says, yes, two can play at this game. Sob, what is that? Sob, choke. Who is she, V? What is her name? Her name is Anarchy, and she taught me more as a mistress than you ever did. She has taught me that justice is meaningless without freedom. She is honest. She makes no promises and breaks none. Unlike you, Jezebel. I used to wonder why you could never look me in the eye. Now I know. So goodbye, dear lady. I would be saddened by our parting even now, save that you are no longer the woman that I once loved. Here is a final gift I leave at your feet. And he leaves this fucking heart box with a bow on it. Looks like it's got chocolates in it.
Possibly chocolates.
And he leaves it and he fucking does a little bow and he fucking takes his hat off and does that whole thing.
He bids adieu.
Bids adieu, yeah, there you go.
And blows that bitch up.
Yep. And then he looks back and he says, the flames of freedom, how lovely, how just. Ah, my precious Anarchy. Oh, beauty till now, I never knew thee. Man, god damn, this motherfucker is so poetic.
Yeah.
And
quite charismatic.
Yeah, and then this is the epilogue to the chapter, which I thought was kind of funny the way they did that. But they're showing basically Prothero.
Yeah, Louis Prothero. There's Mr. Finch, who is like the detective. He's like, man, what the fuck is going on? This guy's brainwashed. He's still saying that mama shit.
Yeah.
V destroyed him.
Oh, he fucking eviscerated him mentally. And he basically is just saying, like, you know, he's like, listen, man, I want to know about who the fuck did this to you. Like, tell me about this guy. And, mama. And then he's like, God damn it, I thought we fucking got rid of that. He's like, well, I guess you're safe. We're friends. He can't hurt you now. Blah, 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 blah. And then he says, he like, what is he, like this face right here? Like, he's like, ah. Like he has this like surprised look on his face. Mm-hmm. And then he says, whatever, let's get out of here. And then he just says, 5. And they're like, 5. And he's like, what? He's like, room 5, 5, room 5. And then it cuts out from there. Cause this is like the beginning of them starting to figure shit out a little bit. Or figuring out the backstory, I guess. But, well, we'll get to it later because, I mean, they get into it. And then we go back to the Shadow Gallery. And, I mean, this whole thing with her is weird, man. Like, it's very strange.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like it's almost like they're both childlike. You know what I'm saying?
Like, she's childlike, definitely.
Right, but I feel like he is also, like, mirroring that. Like, I feel like I don't know if he, like, reverted back or that's just his insanity or whatever that's happening.
I think he's just always had it since his little incident.
Oh, maybe.
But, well, as we come to find out, and maybe that's the case that it's more ambiguous. It's supposed to be ambiguous with the purpose that you're not really supposed to figure V out. Like, he's just he's like the Joker if he was a good guy.
Yeah, basically.
So,
what are you looking for?
My vest is just working.
It didn't fall on the other side of the bed or the.
Yeah, did you pop
couch.
it? Oh. All right.
I don't know. You might have a point because like he is all about this weird melodramatic way of presenting things. Like it's like the Mad Hatter leading Alice. Like it's fucking weird. Like. He's playing into her as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I don't know.
Which I don't know. Yeah, it's very.
He's
weird.
also manipulative.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I don't know. We got sidetracked for a minute there, but anyways, oh fuck, wrong button. Okay. All right. So V is walking her down. They're walking down this staircase, and she's basically. Or he's talking about his name, V or whatever, and she's asking him like what it means or whatever, and he says it's a motto, V veri veneversum vivus vici. I don't know how to say that. I don't speak Latin, But it means by the power of truth, I, while living, have conquered the universe. Right? That's pretty cool. Like, you know.
I don't know if it's a meaning. She just saw that there was a statue that said V, 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 V. And she.
Oh, that's right.
He was explaining, what's the meaning of it?
Yeah.
And then
she's basically saying, like, you know, I should be trying to help you how you're helping me. And he's like, nah, man, no deals. Like, no deal unless you want it. And she's like, you know, I want to do something, man. I want to help. And he's like, I think I know a way that you can help me out very, very soon. Yes, if that's what you want. You want this deal? And she's like, oh, good.
the part that sticks out to me is that the relationship that V has to Anarchy, V is kind of representative of that to Evie.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't make deals. I don't do any of that shit. If you want to commit to doing something, you just say you want to do it.
You do
it. So then we have this sermon at Westminster Abbey where all the political figures, or rather the figures within the government,
It's like the top head guys, right?
end up going to mass. And there's this whole speech about, I don't know, like, there's this problematic figure. There's the adversary that exists, and they have to slay the enemy or some shit like that.
And it's like they're basically chanting one race, one creed, one hope in thee, who loved us in our pain, who let us fall not very far, that we should rise again. And then the I don't know if he's like the Pope or whatever the fuck he is, but it's like the father head guy. He's like, oh, let us pray. And so then he gets into the prayers of like, it's very much this is like a Catholic fucking sermon. It's all about, you know, fucking doom and gloom, fire and brimstone kind of shit.
And then there's this speech towards like the back end of it where he's like, there's this dark vision, a devil or a fucking satanic evil that will come forth, and it's like alluding to V.
Yeah, and yeah, they're definitely talking about that. And the sermon's over, and they go outside, and you have which man, this whole situation with that one dude who beats his wife is so fucked up, man.
It is fucked up.
It is the worst.
You have the guy, the weird perv guy that watches people have sex from like the telecommunications portion of the government.
Yeah.
And then you have like the detective dude who's on the case on V, and they're having a conversation, and the wife of the pervert, he's like, oh, you can't talk about what's her name that way. She's so sophisticated. She's all these things. Shut up. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, who the fuck are you to talk? Like, and this is his own wife.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
And he's like, shut up. He basically goes, shut up, bitch. Like, God, that's so fucked up. And the preacher's like, yes, there they all go, because it cuts back to him. And you know what's funny is they call him, like, his attendant or whatever calls him Your Grace. And I was like, God damn. That is just further with what we find out, obviously, in the next coming panels.
Yeah. Man, the way in which he uses some of the phrases he says, he's like, oh no, the pleasure is all mine. Like,
yeah.
Because, knowingly he's going to, we'll get to it, but what we come to discover is that the father likes to indulge in sins, and his favorite is fucking, he likes to covet.
Fucking children.
Being a weird fuck. And they're like, oh, we have a girl lined up for you. A bit older.
It's a bit older than usual.
And he's like, I will not have it.
He's like, good sir, how dare you?
Yeah. So we are given this description of this girl who turns out to be Evie, who is in fact 16 years old. as we come to learn. And the father's like, oh my God, how is it that, I take everything back. She's perfect. She's the best.
Which what's funny is like, she's dressed like a child. Like that. This is so. I am very glad that. Well, what happens to this guy. But anyways,
an angelic vision, as he says.
Yes. What does he call her? He says, dazzling loveliness, mea culpa, my child, mea culpa.
You are a vision, a perfect angelic vision. Thanks. And then he says, please don't thank me, my child. Believe me.
Oh, yeah.
The pleasure is all mine. Well, no shit, you're gonna rape her.
Yeah, you fucking asshole. Look at that. Cooper doesn't like it. He's growling at the TV. Like, he doesn't like this guy. Yeah, I get it, Cooper. This guy is an asshole.
Now we come to V, who's standing just outside of he's in the shadow gallery, and he's gathering these Violet Carsons that he's been delivering to his enemies.
Yeah,
he murders them.
He's picking one because he's gonna, obviously fucking put one down on this guy.
I actually don't know what he's quoting here, but if you want to read the whole thing in its entirety.
He says, bring me my bow of burning gold, bring me arrows of desire, bring me my spear, O clouds unfold, bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green and pleasant land. And that's like talking about, I think that's something alluding to
him doing the devil's work and building a new England.
Yeah, it's like I think that was a king who said this, like a past king of England.
It could be King Arthur.
It could be. I just want to look that up real quick. So we have built Jerusalem in England's. Let's see. It is from "And Did Those Feet in Ancient Time" is a poem by William Blake from the preface of his epic Milton, a poem in 2 books. It's a collection of writings known as the Prophetic Books. This was written in 1804, and it's best known as the hymn Jerusalem, and they added music, I guess, behind it. So it's like a song, I guess, kind of now.
All right.
But it's a form of epic poetry, it says.
Okay, I thought it might have to do with fucking like King Arthur or some bullshit, Arthurian legend or some shit.
No, it just seems to be some epic poetry.
All right, so he's waxing poetic and shit, and before he's gonna go do some murdering.
Yeah, he's about to go. Oh, here I go killing again.
So then, what's his face? The assistant of the priest, Lilliman's assistant, the father, he's like, "Oh, indulge in this fine wine, boys. Go ahead and have at it, because this is the kind of arrangements the elite of the Norse Fire, or rather the upper crust of society that are part of the government."
Man, Cooper does not like these guys. Did you give him another goddamn treat?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's gonna be like fucking.
I don't know what keeps it quiet.
I guess. All right. Anyways, so then they're like, "Oh yes, he's giving them these, like you said, the wine or whatever he's giving them, and they're all getting drunk and having a good time." And he's like, "Ah yes, the righteous can get." He's like, "Oh, the Lord provides. There may be no peace for the wicked, but the righteous can get a peace whenever they feel like it." Man,
bastard.
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh yeah, nice. He's fucking children."
They're like, "Hell yeah! Oh, this is so terrible." I'm glad V kills everybody. Well, I guess we have to, but
yeah.
So then we go back to the inside, and then it's the priest. Of course, hate the sin, love the sinner. I always say, and she's just like, great.
Gee, I hope I don't get raped.
Man, I really, you know what? It's getting kind of hot in here. You think I can open a window? And he's like, she's like, "Oh, it's just such a nice night, and I like to hear the wind." And she's like, "Oh God, I hope this motherfucker comes quick, because this guy's about to get crazy." And then V starts waxing poetically again. "Those rich and mysterious forces that stir in the shadowy depths of the human soul, those inexpressible longings, when their moment is come, they shall not be denied. And like, obviously, his inexpressible longing is to kill this guy. It is not going to be denied.
Yeah, and this guy is like, man, I need to get fucking this bitch.
Yeah.
So, and then she's like, oh no, wait, you have quite the lovely voice for sermons, and I like what you do. Why don't you read from the Bible or a verse or something?
Yeah, why
He's
don't,
like,
why don't you sermonate me?
all right, I'm on it, Chief. And then he's like, why don't you come to my bedroom? And she's like, oh shit.
She's like, no, I fucked up. Is this the other room you were talking about? Ah, yes, my sex dungeon.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me. Now I've got you right where I want you.
And then V is approaching the security guards, and it is reiterated what Lilliman is saying from the past sermon from the Westminster Abbey.
God, man, dude, that movie fucking sucks, dude, now. I hate that movie now.
What?
Like, the V for Vendetta movie.
Yeah.
It is garbage in like, because like I said, I had never read this, man.
Yeah.
This scene would have been so fucking cool to do. Why didn't they do it? Wow, God. Terrible.
So he's swarming on these fucking security guards.
Yeah.
And he's the Lilliman is giving this sermon that he gave earlier. It says, "Dear God, thou who hast granted us reprieve from thy final judgment, those who have provided us with that most terrible warning, help us to be worthy of mercy as we were then. Thou didst turn aside thy wrath, that wrath which rained fire from the heavens. Help us to resist the temptations of the evil one, the adversary,
Yeah.
who has surely come amongst us in this, the hour of our greatest trial. For I have seen a vision of dark and satanic evil that cometh forth from the night to ensnare the weak and the sinful, an avatar for damnation, who will seek to sully thy truth with his vain lies and shallow sophistications. O God, thou who knowest all that we do, thou who art our fate and our final destiny, help us to clearly perceive thy will. Help us to perceive the wiles of the evil one and stand firm in thee, one race, one nation, united in thy love. This we ask in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. Amen. Take off your dress, please."
He's like, get naked now.
I need you to get naked.
And she's like, what? But look, I was, never mind. Allow me. And then she just fucking straight whacks him with a goddamn desk lamp.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, you filthy little whore, I'll kill you. And then he's like, I actually think I kind of like this a little bit. And he's like, you can't fry it for me. I'm gonna get you. And then boom, V comes in to save the day. Please allow me to introduce myself. And then the preacher, he knows what's up. He's like, listen, man, I got money. We could. I'm a man of wealth. And V goes, and taste.
And he's got devil's horns because, if I'm not mistaken, that's an allusion to a Russian book called The Master and Margarita. And it turns out the master, he's like a ringmaster, like a circus leader.
Uh-huh.
And it's the devil.
Oh, nice.
It turns out to be the devil, so he's making allusions to that book.
Oh, that's cool. And then it goes to an outside view with the lights on, and then lights get turned off. Lights out. And then we go to the ear, and they're doing their listening. Cooper, shut up, man. And oh my God, I'm gonna kill this dog. Anyways, go back to the ear, and they start hearing the conversation that's going on, that like in the priest's office, which is also fucked up because like everybody's in on all the fucking perversions that they all have and like totally cool with it.
Yeah, the guy calls it children's hour.
Yeah, like
It's like they know that he's a pedophile, and they're like, oh yeah, we're cool with him, and we get to spy on it, and we know not much going on. Nobody's fucking on Sunday, apparently.
yeah, and we hear he tells him, he's like, listen, they hear that they call me V, and they're like, oh shit, wait a minute. And so then so V goes on and he gives this little speech, and they're like, oh my God, you guys get on the phone, get the finger guy, get him over there. Like we need to get this going. You guys, we got him. And
no, please don't start.
So then they get over there to Westminster Abbey. All right. Invasion of the fucking raccoons over here. All right, now we're back to finish off this goddamn episode. So we get back to the priest's house or whatever, and the guards are dead, fucking straight, just stiff as fuck, stiff as a board. They all walk in, and we see the classic V on the wall. Everything is amiss. We see the what is this flower again?
The Violet Carson.
The Violet Carson, and he's just like, "Fuck, man, who is it? Like, who is it out there?"
And it's showing from the perspective of V looking into the quarters of the priest or whatever.
Yeah, and then we get we go back to the ear again, and they're saying, well, we got a problem here with the audio sounds or whatever from the thing. Is that there's background music. Like, we can get rid of it, but not everywhere. So the conversations, some of it's going to be lost. And this codename V guy must have fucking intended this. Like, this must have been on purpose.
Yeah.
And so you hear it's Beethoven's Fifth in the background, and he's like, that's Morse code, And then the guy's like, what? Morse code? And he's like, yeah, it's Morse code for the letter V. Like, the fucking song.
Yeah, just, you find, Mr. Finch finds it amusing.
Yeah, he thinks it's funny. And so, basically, we go back to the Westminster Abbey, and they're talking about it's later in the afternoon, and he's telling them that this is
Allman and Finch.
Yeah, Allman and Finch. They're talking, and he basically says that, hey, listen. So he surprises the bishop, and he came through this door, boom, ran smack into him, and we don't know what's up with the girl. So like, the girl's gone after this. So we assume that she must have been in on it, basically. And he's like,
So they're recreating the entire crime in their minds.
Yeah.
Try to figure out why things are the way they are, including the lamp that Evie hit the priest with, and they're hearing bits and pieces of the conversation. And so if you could scroll down.
Yeah.
And then V's like coercing this guy to do certain things. And what does he say? So they're like, oh, next time we hear Bishop is this part right here. 5, of course, it was you on that night. My God, I still dream about it. I haven't stopped dreaming about it for 4 years. It was like hell. Men burning, choking in the yellow fog, which I think is mustard gas that they were talking about.
Yeah.
And in a black shape against the flames, a man. Oh God, who are you? Who are you really? I am the devil, and I've come to do the devil's work, and that's V talking right there. I do not have a name. You can... Yeah, we go.
And then it goes on to the thing where he says, you can call me V or whatever. And then he says, that's a quote, that bit about the devil's work, famous murder case 20 years ago. But then he reads out the 23rd Psalm, and, it's I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, all that. And then he says, this is where the valet, Dennis, comes in, and he's like, look, the stereo suddenly shuts off. And he goes back to things. He says, Your Grace, are you all right? What? And he's got his little fucking 6-shooter out, and he's like pointing around in the dark. And he says, he hasn't hurt me. Be careful. And then remember, Dennis has a gun in the dark. He's by the door. He says, all right, I'm going to count to 5. I want you to step over by the window with your hands on your head. 1, 2. He never got past 2. All in dead silence in the dark, implying that, like, V must have, like, whatever experiments or shit they did to him in that camp, they must have given him some kind of superpowers or some shit.
Night vision.
Yeah, night vision, like, or something. Because there's no fucking way that you could just do all this shit in the pitch-ass dark.
Unless his mask has some kind
maybe he's got some technology in it, perhaps?
Yeah, because he is something of a, well, as we come to find out later,
yeah,
he's something of a genius.
Right, yeah. And so then he says, and then the music comes back on, and we never hear from this dentist guy again. They're talking here. The music nearly wipes it all out, though, saying some shit about religion. And it's kind of like, it sounds like he's just saying, oh, just kill me already. And then
this part's really interesting because V is like mocking Catholicism.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, transubstantiation. So the miracle of turning water, or rather wafers, into the body of Christ. So he's like, oh, so it could be any body part of the body of Christ. So it kind of seems like when we get to the next panel, he's like, oh, he's mocking the fucking priest. He's like, I want you to take this wafer, but it looks phallic. Like, it looks like he's like sucking his dick or whatever in this panel. So
and he's like, and I want you to swallow it.
Yeah. And I don't know if he has him recite something to just before eating the, just above, like, what does he say? At the moment that it enters your body, it becomes the flesh of the Savior. Like, he's asking, he's yes, look, please. And whatever it is made of now, it will become the body of Christ, like, you know, in a mocking manner. And then he has like his hand out, well, at least from this side view, I don't know, it looks like a penis, but and he's like, I want you to swallow it.
and swallow your God here.
And then you just hear Beethoven's Fifth, and so you have music interluded throughout this whole thing to obscure portions of the conversation, and this is like the parts that you get to hear. And then we come to find out that the wafer was laced with cyanide. So, so he got moited.
Got him. And then they go to New Scotland Yard, and they're like talking about, here's the wound, talking about a knife, and this is in one of the guys, right? One of those guards.
Who? No, that's Lilliman.
Oh, that's right.
If I'm not mistaken.
And she's saying it's not a knife wound. It looks like something's been punched through the skin with incredible force. And they're just like, well, sounds like you've already bitten off more than you can chew. Sorry to ruin your Christmas. But what were you? She's asking him, like, what are you? Didn't somebody tell me that you were going to consult with the Fate computer basically about this? And he's like, yep, all the leaders authorized me an extension link for this. Things must be pretty desperate. He's usually pretty funny about other people, you know, using Fate, his coveting his
mistress or whatever.
Yeah. And oh god.
Then Delia gets the Violet Carson. He's like, well, we found this at the crime scene, so I don't know, you're something of a florist, or you know about flowers, so what do you make of it? He's like, oh, it's a Violet Carson. I haven't seen these since the fucking war. And she's like, well, yes, I'll make note of it, and we'll let you know what is made of it. Like, what does it mean?
Yeah.
So that's how the issue ends. So we get more exposition on Adam Susan, the leader of the fascist party, the Norse Fire.
Yeah.
That is comprised of both militants and corporations alike to create this vision of a dystopian fucking England, which is, it's like the U.S.
This is basically what we're heading towards.
And then we had some sweet moments of V murdering people and doing his due diligence about wiping out people potentially from his past.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So episode 3, we'll work on that, and we get to chapter 3 of fucking V for Vendetta.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyways, if you want to hear more of our stuff, you go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. You can also follow, or if you like music, you can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official and on Instagram, and go listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast. If you like anime and mangas, you can go follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast, and you can go listen to the Anime Syndicate. All right, that's it for us. We're getting the fuck out of here.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.